Most people don't actually want power. They want the image of it. They look at characters like Kiyotaka Ayanokoji, and they don't study how he thinks. They copy how he looks. The silence, the distance, the cold expression. And then they wonder why nothing changes, why they still feel weak, why they still feel empty. Because copying the surface, without understanding the system underneath, only turns you into a hollow imitation. It was never his morals that made him dangerous. It was his mindset, and confusing those two is the fastest way to ruin yourself. People think strength means becoming emotionless, ruthless, detached from everyone. That's lazy thinking. He doesn't win because he lacks emotion. He wins because emotion doesn't control him. There's a difference, a massive one. Most people feel something and immediately react. Anger comes out as words. Fear becomes avoidance. Ego turns into explanation. That reaction loop is the leash. The moment you break it, you step into a state most people can't survive in. Control before expression. Nothing leaves your mouth until your mind approves it. Not because you're trying to be mysterious. Because you refuse to give away power for free. When you stop reacting, people get uncomfortable. They can't read you. They can't predict you. And when they can't predict you, they lose leverage. This isn't about manipulation. It's about self-protection. Most people are emotionally open systems. Everything gets in. Opinions, noise, criticism, praise. That's why they're exhausted. You don't need to shut the world out. You need filters. That's mindset, not morality. He always sees the game behind the situation. Not just what's happening, but why it's happening. Who benefits? Who's insecure? Who's trying to gain control? Life isn't fair, and pretending it is won't save you. But understanding reality gives you options. Awareness is not cruelty. It's intelligence. You don't judge people for their patterns. You just notice them. Who gets loud when threatened? Who jokes when nervous? Who flatters when they want something? Most people are transparent if you're quiet long enough. Silence is misunderstood. Silence isn't darkness. Silence is efficiency. You don't announce plans because you're scared of failure. You stay quiet because attention drains focus. The loudest people are usually the weakest. They need witnesses. You don't. Progress doesn't require applause, it requires consistency. When you move in silence, your energy stays intact. Your momentum stays hidden. And nothing attracts interference faster than success announced too early. Emotion is not the enemy. Obedience to emotion is. Anger, fear, sadness, they're signals, data, information. But weak minds treat them like commands. They feel angry, so they explode. They feel anxious, so they retreat. They feel insecure, so they seek validation. Strength is the ability to feel everything and still choose your response. Not suppression, mastery. You don't kill emotion, you put it in its place. Most people live their lives begging without realizing it. Begging for approval, begging for reassurance, begging to be understood. That need turns into chains. The moment you stop requiring validation, something shifts. You become harder to influence. You stop explaining yourself. You stop proving your worth. You stop negotiating your standards. You work because it builds you. You train because weakness disgusts you. You improve because stagnation feels like death. Not because anyone is watching. This is where people get lost. They think copying his morals will make them powerful. It won't. It will isolate them, turn them bitter, make them see everyone as tools. Power without values rots from the inside. That's not strength. That's emptiness wearing confidence as a mask. The goal isn't to become cold. The goal is to become unshakable. There's a difference. You can be disciplined without being cruel, strategic without being heartless, silent without being empty. When you apply the mindset correctly, your life changes quietly. You stop over-explaining. You stop reacting emotionally. You stop chasing attention. You stop wasting energy on people who don't matter. You start choosing your responses. You start seeing patterns. You start winning in ways no one claps for. And that's the point. Loud victories attract enemies. Silent progress builds dominance. The world is full of people who talk about growth but live in comfort. They admire strength from a distance but fear the discipline it requires. Control is lonely at first, because chaos is popular, drama is social, weakness is relatable. But calm focus, that threatens people. So they'll misunderstand you, label you, project onto you. Let them. Their opinions don't move your life forward. You don't need to become him. You need to become you with clarity, with restraint, with awareness. Take the discipline. Take the emotional control. Take the ability to see the game. Leave the manipulation. Leave the moral decay. Leave the emptiness. Because real power isn't stepping on others. It's standing so solid in yourself that nothing outside of you can move you. That's the mindset. And once you live in it, you don't chase dominance. You don't announce strength. You don't prove anything. You just move. Quietly. Precisely. And the world adjusts around you whether it wants to or not. Most people don't understand what it means to be untouchable. They mistake noise for strength, volume for power, chaos for control. They think being bold, loud, angry, or reactive makes them dominant. But dominance, real dominance, lives in the stillness between their thoughts, in the decisions they make before the world even notices. Look at those who have mastered life quietly. They are not cruel. They are controlled. They are not selfish. They are focused. They are not heartless. They are precise. And this precision is what separates those who live as prey from those who operate as predators in silence. People look at characters like Ayanokoji and see the cold calculations, the manipulation, the use of others, and they immediately assume the way to power is by abandoning all morals. That is a trap. Copying his ethics will destroy you. You will start seeing everyone as pieces in a game, and soon the game will consume you. Isolation becomes unbearable. Paranoia creeps in. You'll begin to hate the world while pretending you're in control. That is the cost of misunderstanding. You do not take his morals. You take his mindset. The logic, the precision, the self-mastery, the unwavering observation. That is what makes him untouchable. That is what makes him win. And that is what you must learn to apply if you ever hope to rise above the masses. Every emotion you feel is data. Every thought you have is a signal. Every interaction is a clue. Weak minds follow the signal blindly, reacting instantly, seeking comfort, seeking approval, needing validation. Strong minds observe, analyze, and then respond when it serves them. Anger is not a weapon unless controlled. Fear is not a weakness unless obeyed. Pain is not a barrier unless you surrender to it. Every impulse, every distraction, every temptation is meaningless unless it is measured against a larger plan. And yet, most people never measure. They never think. They act first and regret later. That is why they fail. That is why they leak power daily without even noticing. The world does not forgive open minds. It consumes them. It reshapes them. It bends them to the will of chaos. You must close your mind selectively. Not to become rigid, not to become cruel, but to preserve the energy required for real dominance. Control before expression. Awareness before action. That is the principle. That is the difference between a hollow imitation and a master. Observe people. Do not judge them. Do not react. Just observe. Who speaks when they feel insecure? Who laughs when they are threatened? Who flatters when they want something? Patterns reveal everything, and patterns are your weapon. You do not need to intervene immediately. You do not need to confront them. You wait. You calculate. You move only when the odds are in your favor. Most people are visible to the world. Their thoughts, their weaknesses, their fears, their desires are broadcasted with every glance, every word, every hesitation. You do not need to shout to be noticed. You do not need to announce to dominate. Quiet precision builds outcomes before the world realizes what happened. That is the difference between those who stumble through life and those who bend it to their will. Silence is misunderstood. People fear it because they fear power they cannot read. They mistake quiet for weakness. They mistake observation for apathy. But silence is strength. Silence is preservation. Silence is armor. Every word you choose not to speak, every reaction you choose not to give, every judgment you choose not to voice, is a layer of protection over your energy. Energy is currency. Energy is life. And most people spend it recklessly, trading attention for approval, validation for ego, emotion for influence. You do not. You conserve. You prioritize. You direct. And that direction is lethal. You will feel the urge to prove yourself. You will feel the need to act impulsively. You will feel the weight of the world asking for an explanation, for a reaction, for compliance. Do not give in. That is the point where weak minds falter. That is the point where ordinary people collapse. You must observe the pull, acknowledge it, and let it pass. That tension you feel is not your enemy. It is your teacher. It shows where you are vulnerable, where the world can influence you, where your power leaks, and every time you resist it, you fortify yourself. Every time you resist, you tighten the hold over your own destiny. Most people never resist. Most people give in. That is why they remain weak. That is why they remain unnoticed. That is why the world moves them like pieces on a board they never even saw. You must understand that morality is irrelevant to your growth. Morality is a social construct designed to control the masses. It is a set of rules created by those who fear what they cannot manipulate. Using his morals as a guide will not make you stronger. It will make you constrained. It will make you predictable. It will make you human in the worst way. But using his mindset, understanding, precision, foresight, detachment, strategy, that will make you formidable. That will make you untouchable. That will make you someone who moves through the world while the weak are consumed by chaos. You will not need cruelty. You will not need malice. You will only need clarity. Everything you see, every interaction you have, is a test. The world is testing you constantly. It does not wait for readiness. It does not pause for comfort. Every distraction, every criticism, every demand is designed to pull you from your center, from your calm. You have two choices. You can react, you can give in, or you can remain anchored, detached, observing, calculating. That is where true power is born. That is where the state most people cannot sustain exists. Most people cannot stay in it. Most people collapse after a day, after a week, after a month. But you, if you commit to the mindset, you can exist in that state indefinitely. You can navigate chaos while others drown. You can make decisions before the world even realizes there is a problem. That is supremacy. Do not confuse patience with weakness. Waiting, observing, calculating, listening, and holding yourself in a state of calm control. That is not passivity. That is preparation. The strongest move first, not because they are hasty, but because they are ready. The rest react because they are unprepared. That difference decides every outcome. That difference separates the weak from the untouchable. When you adopt this mindset, the chaos around you becomes a map. Every conversation, every glance, every gesture is a clue. Every distraction is an opportunity. Every threat is a puzzle. And you are the solver, always 3 steps ahead. That is the skill most people never learn. That is the edge you now hold. Control your attention. Control your reactions. Control your energy. Do not give your power away for free. People will try to pull it out of you. They will provoke you. They will manipulate you. They will challenge you with trivialities and drama. Do not engage. Observe. Wait. Choose the moment. Strike when it is advantageous. Most people never understand that restraint is not weakness. It is the ultimate strength. The ability to hold back until action has maximum effect is the mark of someone who cannot be challenged. That is the state most people cannot hold. Can you? Can you exist in that calm? In that control? In that focus? If you can, the world bends around you whether it wants to or not. Do not fear loneliness. Do not fear misunderstanding. Do not fear silence. The world will not understand someone who moves like this. They will label you. They will misjudge you. They will whisper. Let them. Their misunderstanding is your camouflage. Their fear is your shield. Their chaos is your advantage. You are learning to operate in a state most people cannot even imagine. They will not recognize it. They will not approve. They will not applaud. That is irrelevant. All that matters is that you continue. All that matters is that your mind, your control, your focus, your strategy becomes absolute. And in the quiet, in the shadows, in the gaps where the weak stumble, you will rise. You will dominate. And you will do it without needing their validation. The final truth is simple. You will never need to mimic his morals. You do not need to be cruel, ruthless, or detached. Those are not the source of his power. The source is the mind, clear, precise, disciplined, aware, unshakable. You must take that and make it your own. And in doing so, you do not become him. You become something stronger. Someone who can navigate the world while it drags the weak under. Someone who can operate above distraction, above chaos, above manipulation. Someone untouchable. Someone unbreakable. Someone who, by mastering the self, bends the outcome of everything around them without ever needing to raise a hand. That is the state most people cannot sustain. That is the state you are learning to live in. That is the edge. That is the mindset. And once you inhabit it fully, dominance no longer has to be pursued. It will follow you. Silently. Inevitably. Permanently.